good, Horror Horde? This is your boy Horror Gamer back with another video from you straight from Horror Command Central itself in full effect. Horror Haven. How y'all doing? God, I love this place. Anyway, how y'all doing today? So this video is my review video for a very controversial movie that just came to theaters 2 weeks ago. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and put it right here. Boom. Joker. Now, before I get into my review of the Joker movie, just know, as always, your boy Horror Gamer's reviews are spoilers all day, every day. So, if you haven't seen the Joker yet, pause this video, go see the movie, come back, rewatch the video, and tell me what you think in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and click that little ding-a-ling-ding button so every time your boy Horror Gamer makes a video, you won't miss out. Now, with all the disclaimers and all that got out of the way, where do I begin with the Joker? Well, first off, I fucking loved that movie. That movie was a cinematic masterpiece in my opinion. Let me tell you something. Yeah, it was a very controversial subject, but it was done in a way that it was, in my opinion, informative and entertaining. So basically, what this movie's about, it's about Joaquin Phoenix's character, Arthur Fleck, who he's a fucking nut. And you see him throughout this movie gradually get worse. It's about a guy who is in a society that treats him like shit, basically. Like he's a piece of trash. I mean, the opening scene, he works as a clown for hire or a rent-a-clown or some crazy bullshit like that. And he's sitting there and he's putting on his makeup. And he's like making smiles and frowns. He sticks his fucking, just pulls his, and you can see in his eyes, like, he's fucking crazy. This is a man that's barely hanging on to sanity. I mean, he's almost over the edge already at the beginning of the movie. But there's a lot of movie to discuss. So he's sitting there looking in the mirror and he's making these faces and he's like tearing up and crying like he's about to lose his fucking mind. So then the scene switches over to him standing out front of a store that's going out of business. I don't know if it's an instrument store or some kind of store, and he's dancing. You know, he's putting on this fake smile and he's like pretending to be happy. He's twirling this sign around, and these fucking douchebag little bastard kids come out of nowhere and steal his sign and just fucking book it. You know, and you're like, what the fuck is it? What's this kid's problem? You know, and you think, you know, it's supposed to be set in the 80s, but you see a lot of fuckery with like the youth. It's just, it reminds me of the youth today. Very disrespectful, very just asshole-ish. Well, anyway, he chases him down the road. You know, he's running down, chasing him. And he sees him in the alleyway. He goes down, and when he gets close to him, one of the kids comes from behind the wall and fucking hits him in the face with the sign and breaks the sign, and they just stomp the shit out of him. Like these kids are beating up a grown-ass adult. And he's just taking it, you know, he's just getting his ass whooped. And then it cuts to the scene. Joker. Well, the movie doesn't get any better for Arthur Fleck. Tell ya, there's so much shit from the beginning of this movie to the end. Now, I want to tell you guys right now, if you're going into this movie expecting to see him as the Joker, like for a very long time, you're going to be disappointed. This movie is a telling of the story of how the Joker became the Joker. So you really don't see him actually become full-fledged Joker until the end of the movie. The movie's about Arthur Fleck, okay? It's about him slowly diving into madness until he becomes what we know as the Joker. Like, for example, there's a scene in the movie where he is talking to his psychiatrist, and she acts like she doesn't give a shit about him. She just seems like she's there, you know. I don't know if she's a psychiatrist or a caseworker. I think she's a caseworker, and he has this book that he's writing, like a journal, and she has to see this journal. When you see like his journal, there's like nudity, like pictures of naked ladies, and then there's a saying in this journal that really hits close. Well, it doesn't hit close, but it really like makes you think. It says, I forget what it says word for word, but it's something along the lines of, people expect someone with mental illness to act like they don't have a mental illness. So basically, you're putting on a fake face. So to me, I took it as Arthur Fleck was putting on the fake face every day, like because he's not right, and he has this condition. In the beginning of the movie, they call it a condition, where when he gets nervous, he laughs like uncontrollably, and he'll just stop on a dime. Like he'll go and done. But then there's times where he gets into a fit of laughter, where it almost looks like it fucking hurts him, like because he's sitting there trying to fight it back, and he's swallowing hard, and you know he's like almost gagging to stop laughing, but he can't stop laughing for some reason. So that's the start, you know. And so when you see him start to really get a little deeper into the madness is when he gets attacked on the subway. Okay. So rewind a little bit. After he gets beat up by these kids, one of his buddies, who's a clown for hire or rent-a-clown or whatever, gives him a gun. And he said, you know, I'm not supposed to have a gun, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, nah, don't worry about it. You get it from me later. And so he puts the gun in his pants, and he goes and dances at this kid's hospital. So he's, you know, doing a happy and, you know, a dance, stomping his feet, whatever. And when he does, the fucking gun falls out. And everybody's just looking at him. All the fun stops. And he's like, oh, you know, pretending it's a prop. Well, his boss, who's already a dick, because his boss wanted to dock from his pay the sign that was broke. And, you know, right there, Arthur's like looking at him, smiling, but you can see the pain in his eyes, like he just wants to flip the fuck out. And so they jump to a scene where he's just stomping trash. He's just stomping on trash to get his aggressions out. So anyway, this gun falls out of his pants at the children's hospital. And he picks it up, tries to hide it. Well, they shoot to a scene where he's on the phone with his boss's boss fires, basically, for the gun. So he's going home, and he gets attacked on the subway by these three douchebags who are rich and they think they own the world. And he kills them. It gets to the point where, out of self-defense, in my opinion, it was self-defense because he was getting jumped by three fucking guys, he fucking kills them, you know? And then he goes, and there's an iconic scene where after that he runs to the nearest public bathroom and he locks the door and he starts dancing. And that's how he gets, like, how do I say it? That's how he gets, kind of calms him down too, is like he dances. Well, anyway, long story short, I'm not gonna like ruin the whole thing for you. I'm just gonna give key plot points. Zazie Beetz is in it, and she plays his girlfriend. Well, throughout the movie, you're like, how can somebody like her go with somebody like him, you know? And come to find out, their relationship was a figment of his imagination the whole time. He was seeing it, but it wasn't really happening. So there's a scene where he takes her to a comedy club because he's performing, and he fucking bombs. But in his mind, he's doing a fantastic job. She's laughing, everybody's laughing, having a good time. But in actuality, he's fucking bombing it. Like, nobody's laughing, they're actually booing him. And Robert De Niro's character, Murray Franklin, is like your late night talk show host. So he gets a hold of Arthur, which Arthur is a huge fan of Murray, and he invites him onto the show. And because he saw the video of him bombing, so he wanted to make fun of him. So Arthur, accepts the invite, but here, throughout the movie, Arthur is told that Thomas Wayne is his dad because his mom's a crazy fucking weirdo, and she had an affair with Thomas Wayne, and Arthur's the product of their affair. So she was trying to hide that from him. He reads a note she writes to him, and so they start fighting and everything, and then he finds out from Thomas Wayne when he goes to meet him that he's adopted. So his mom ends up having a stroke because the cops come and ask her about the 3 people that he killed on the subway, and so she has a stroke. So when he finds out he's adopted, he actually kills his mom, and he's just going crazy at this point. And then towards the end of the movie, Arthur's getting ready to go on the Murray show. He's putting on the clown makeup, he's putting on, because now him murdering them 3 people in the subway started this big clown movement of rich versus the poor, basically. And so he's getting ready, and his buddy who gave him the gun came in. Well, something said, and he ends up fucking killing his buddy, like, maliciously. And then he goes to the Murray show, and Murray's back there talking to him. He's in full clown makeup, and he says, "When you introduce me, can you call me Joker? Because you remember, you called me Joker. You called me a Joker when you played my clip." And he's like, "Yeah, blah, blah, blah." So part comes out. Murray Franklin's talking, setting up the introduction for the Joker. And Arthur starts doing this little, dance, get ready. And as soon as he brings him out, Arthur, he's completely lost it at this point. He is Joker at this point. So he's sitting there, he comes out, gives this old bitch a kiss. She's all, oh, and then he's sitting there, he's looking around. And Murray's kind of taking shots at him to make the crowd laugh. And then he was like, tell us a joke, because he's getting ready to make fun of him. And so Arthur pulls out his book. And Murray's like, oh, well, you need a book, kind of taking little shots. And he's like, yeah. So he says, knock, knock. And Murray's like, okay, making fun of him. He's like, who's there? And then he says this terrible joke, something along the lines of, it's the police, ma'am, your son was in an accident, he's dead. It was something so stupid. Well, anyway, they say he can't joke like that, and then right there, he looks and says, well, it's been a hard couple of weeks since I killed those people in the subway. And then Murray just gets all pissed off, and, oh, you really blah, 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 and they start going back and forth. And then right at the end, he's like, you want to hear another joke, Murray? He calls him Murray. And then he's like, what do you get when you cross a mentally ill patient with a society that treats him like garbage? And he's like, well, what do you get? Well, he's like, I don't want to hear your jokes, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you get what you fucking deserve. And he pulls out a gun and blows Murray's face off right in front of everybody. So he gets arrested, and here is where they pay homage to the Dark Knight, because as he's leaving, they do a scene of him in the cop car, and he is leaning on the cop car, and it's a homage to Heath Ledger's Joker when Heath Ledger was sticking his head out the cop car. Now, my video might die on me here because I only got 20-some seconds, but if it does, I'll come back with the rest of the video here in a couple minutes, okay? So, I'll tell you what, let me pause it now, and I'll be back with the last part of the video. All right. Your boy Hard Game is back. Anyways, so like I was saying, he's in the cop car, and he's leaning up against the thing, and it's fucking chaos. Gotham City is in fucking disarray. He's sitting there watching it, laughing. Not laughing, but smiling. Well, as they're driving, out of nowhere, a fucking ambulance comes and hits the cop car. Fucking wrecks the cop car. Both the cops are dead. They pull the Joker out and put him on the hood. And then they cut to a scene where Thomas Wayne and his family are walking out of the theater, and down the alleyway, and a guy wearing a clown mask comes up and says, "You get what you fucking deserve." And he shoots Thomas Wayne, and then he shoots Martha Wayne. And there's Bruce, Batman. Left as we all know him, and all, the troubled orphan that becomes the Dark Knight. And then it cuts back to the Joker. He wakes up because he got knocked out from this crash, and he stands up on the car, and everybody's cheering him. And he's starting to feel that acceptance that he's been looking for this whole movie. And then he goes like this, and he sees blood. Then he takes his fingers and makes a blood smile. And then everybody goes crazy. And then that's in the moment he has 100% become the Joker. And then, after that, it cuts to a scene where he's in Arkham talking to a doctor. And then he walks out, and then he's being chased the movie over. So, there's a lot of controversy with gun violence, and listen, it's a fucking movie. If you can't handle a movie, don't go to the movies. This is art, okay? If you can't get past the fucking gun violence to see a good story, get the fuck out of here, okay? And with that being said, I believe that there's a couple theories going around that none of this even happened. It was all in his head. He was in his padded room the whole movie, and this was just everything that went on in his mind because the whole Zazie Beetz thing. You're finding out that was a product of his imagination. And then some people think that this is how it all happened, how Arthur Fleck became the Joker. Basically, it's up for you to decide. But I think it all happened. This is how he slowly went into the Joker madness, which was amazing. And I have to give Joker 10 out of 10. Perfect 5 stars. This movie was amazing. It was funny at certain points, but the whole movie was dark, and it was just a gripping story of somebody slowly losing their mind and becoming an iconic villain and a superhero in the superhero's world. So, with all that being said, Horror Horde, that's my review on the Joker. Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. And like I said at the beginning of the fucking video, don't forget to hit that ding-a-ling-ding-ding thing. So when you subscribe, you won't miss a beat when I come out with my videos, because they're coming out a lot more now. Just want to let you know. So look out for that. What video will I do next? I'm not sure yet, but be aware that there will be a video in the next couple days. So with all that being said, Horror Horde, I love you guys. Straight from Horror Haven. As always, this has been your boy Horror Gamer saying, don't fear the darkness. Embrace it.